Now, if you wish, we can do something about certainty and precision, and then I will show you a presentation about structure of the text, which you'll be lucky if you don't come across such an example, such an instance that you have to encode really soon, but you'll probably have to deal with it at one point or another. So once and for all, to make things clear about when do we have to deal with certainty, when do we have to deal with precision, how to distinguish between both, and when exactly can we use it. Certainty or uncertainty deals with the uncertainty or incompleteness of supplied content. For example, if you have a supplied part of the text, as we saw yesterday, supplied reason lost, then we want to supply. The editor wants to supply text with some editorial text that the editor believes stood in the place of the lacuna, but they're not certain if this was the exact thing that had to be restored. There is the imprecision of numerical values. You can have something between at least 5, at most 7 centimeters. There is the uncertainty of editorial decision. So these are several different instances of uncertain information. For example, we have in an inscription, cos, consul, we here expand the abbreviation in the way that we showed yesterday. But then we have something starting with ku, and we are not sure if this is a word which has to be supplied as curator or something else, but we believe that it might have been something like curator, because obviously we have other instances of such usage which were identical. So I want to say we supply this missing text as curator, but we still want to say that we're not 100% sure about this. So supplied reason lost, certainty low. Actually, if in this presentation we have something other than certainty low, I will strongly advise you to use certainty low. We will see. And this visualizes with a question mark accompanying the supplied string of letters that we restore as missing. We have an expanded abbreviation. And we think that this pr, which stands on the stone, should be expanded as presbyter, because we think this presbyter was the abbreviated word, but we're still not quite sure. Oops, sorry. What we do is we expand the abbreviation, and we do the whole drill that you probably are now all too familiar with, especially if you have done all the expansions of abbreviation in the Latin inscription, which uses them all too often. So you have the whole thing encompassed in expand. You have the abbreviated part, per, and then you have the expanded part, which visualizes in brackets in our round brackets in our editorial text as biter, but you want to put a little question mark in there and indicate that you're not 100% sure that this per stands for the word presbyter. So you add also here, you can add certainty low. You can add in many instances and in many places in the code certainty low. And as Elena said, don't worry in the places when you cannot have certainty low, the validation against the TI epidoc schema will certainly say you that, okay, this attribute has no place here. And if you can use it, then it will say nothing. Another thing is that if it's always visualized, as we stated before, if you have certainty type low, it is almost always visualized, but there are some cases when you have incomplete restoration. For example, you have our in your monument, and it obviously is an abbreviated form which stands for the Emperor Marcus Aurelius, but you're not exactly sure if how to finish the word, what exact endings should stand. Is it Marco Aurelio, or is it Marci Aureli, or something like this? And yes, you encode with X your expanded part of the abbreviation. And you can indicate that this is partition. You can also indicate when you expand this abbreviation that this is only a partially restored word. How do you do this? You use the attribute part, which stands for exactly this. It stands for part. And it indicates that this is the initial part of the word, mark, of which the arc part is what we expand as an abbreviation. But this is only the initial part of the word. You can have the medial part of the word expanded or restored, or you can have the final part of the word expanded and restored. And you use, if you encode all this as a word, which you want to be tokenized, you can indicate that this is only a part of the word, and you cannot restore the whole word with certainty. Together with its ending, because the context of the inscription does not allow this, or you cannot expand the abbreviation, and as in this case, so that you can give the abbreviated part a proper ending. Imprecise quantities. You can have a gap, a lacuna of circa 20 characters missing, or an unknown amount of characters or lines missing, or something between 12 and 14 characters missing, depending on how many ligatures were there in the original inscription on the exact that place, which is now a lacuna. So we have here, we use not certainty, but the precision, because we're certain that something is lost, but we cannot give the precise extent of the lacuna. So we say gap reason lost, quantity 20, unit character, and we add the additional attribute precision low. Or we can have, of course, gap reason lost, quantity 1, unit line, because it works as well with characters as with lines, and we have precision low. We don't know if one line from the end of the inscription is missing, or there were more lines that were missing. For example, the inscription is damaged from below, and we think that it is only a part of the end which is missing, but we cannot be completely sure. So I'm reminding you that here, instead of unit character, you can also have unit line, and it works exactly the same way. Then in these square brackets, which indicate the place of the lacuna, together with the number of the characters or lines missing, if you add the precision low attribute, you will also have, in the visualization, you will have this small c, this circa added to it. We don't know exactly what is lost, then you don't need to add a precision tag. You simply add gap reason lost, extent unknown, unit, character, or line. You have the beginning of inscription, which is damaged at the bottom part. For example, you have a list of epheboi from a certain provincial polis, or a list of a religious group, of a religious Thyasus, of the community of the Bakhans of, I don't know, Nove or Ratiaria or Stobi, and below the lower part of the inscription is lost, And so because of the nature of the inscription, in the nature of the text itself, you don't know if in the part which is lost, we have 2 or 20 names more missing. But in this case, you simply use gap, reason lost, extent unknown, and unit, character, or line. If you have relatively certain amount of space missing on the stone, but you still cannot put your finger in it and say, okay, here's a place for exactly 12 characters. You use at least, at most. So you have, again, gap, reason lost. You have a space here, a lacuna here, which spans from at least 12 characters and at most 14 characters, depending on how these characters were written, how much place did they take on the stone originally, or how many ligatures were in between them. So there is these 3 different ways to indicate imprecision in the span of your lacunae, which is something that, again, was hinted at yesterday when we showed you the text encoding cheat sheets. And you have also this in the cheat sheets. Imprecise dates. What about imprecise dates? We don't have. Okay, probably we should use an inscription to show you, because here is, as far as I see, there's an empty slide. Uncertainty about editorial decisions. Let us go quickly about this. So you have 1 line missing, probably, but we're not sure. We have certainty low, and we have locus and reason. I'm not sure if we can use this actually in our current template that we have.
In our template, you probably can use it, but it won't give any. It won't be marked anyways in the visualization.
Yes.
This is a little bit more complex, and yeah, we could just leave it for now.
Yes, but we can also say that usually when you point to a certainty, you might also want to point to a responsibility for this statement. Okay, we are not certain that this and this is missing, and we are not certain about our restoration. But we say that there is a particular editor of this monument who is responsible for that statement, and then you can have the additional attribute resp. And here the value of the attribute is a certain name of a previous editor or certain name of one of the several editors of one particular monument, who claims that Pără was shortening of presbyter or something like this. But this, again, might not be visualized in the output of your project, which means that this is purely internal information. In the same way, you can show when this exact editor or the founder of the monument or somebody else who looked at the monument's text and took particular editorial decisions, when they stated it, okay, this is decision of this and this archaeologist who excavated the monument in 1946, so to say. And you can also point to an abbreviation of a source if you have a corpus or a printed publication, for example. Here you can have an epigraphic issue, this and this from that and that year, who claims that this is the exact reading, to which we are not certain that takes place here. But yes, all of this let me repeat again, is internal information that you probably won't have visualized, or the visualization, if you insist on it, would be a bit too complex, and the results that you will yield with this visualization will probably be of, let us say, of doubtful use.